guys, Leva Bates, Blue Pants, whatever you want to call me here. And you are now listening to This Is Awesome Wrestling Show with Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. Here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
This is Awesome Wrestling Show, a special edition. We're giving you two shows this week.
Twofer.
And our first show will be a interview part one with Leva Bates, a.k.a. Blue Pants of NXT. We chat with her about her experience at NXT Brooklyn. Also, her in the Indies, going to NXT, her interactions with Stephanie McMahon, a lot of detail about her career, and also being a veteran in the locker room as well. So we're going to do part one today with her, and part two will be released next week, and part two, our show was hijacked by Mr. Eddie Kingston. So
never a bad thing.
I don't know about that. Too much.
Glenn hated it.
Too much Eddie Kingston is sometimes a bad thing, but don't tell him I said that. But great interview with Leva
Who
Bates.
doesn't listen to the show?
Leva Bates, Blue Pants here. So we'll come back after the interview, wrap it up, give our reactions to it. Yep. And look for later this week, Gregory Iron, part one interview with him. And we'll also recap Raw and give our reactions to what happened on Monday night. So
if you nerded out for Leva Bates, Blue Pants before, you're going to more so now.
So part one, Leva Bates, a.k.a. Blue Pants. This is Awesome Wrestling Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, coming to you straight from the clearance rack. There she is.
Welcome back. This is Awesome Wrestling Show here on CLEsound.com. I want to welcome our guest this week. You know her as Blue Pants in NXT, Miss Leva Bates. Leva Bates, how are you doing today?
Hi, guys. How's it going?
We finally get to talk to you. We met you at Wrestling Geek Fest here in Cleveland.
Yes.
Didn't get a chance to speak to you, but we were
that
happy.
That was insanity. I apologize. We were doing improv, wrestling, trying to eat, sell merch. It was just, I was all over the place.
I like that you threw trying to eat in there.
Yeah.
Oh God, you have to. That's actually an issue.
That was part
where
of
it's
the
like,
job.
when can we eat? I remember Friday night, I got the hunger rage. I got a little hangry because I was so hungry, and the show was going so long. And like in the show, so we could eat.
In a Snickers commercial, who does Blue Pants turn into when she's hangry?
I don't know, but like a friend of mine always says, you like the Godzilla, like that Godzilla, and then they give him a Snickers.
Oh yeah.
How was Wrestling Geek Fest? I mean, knowing you and what you like, and we've seen the YouTube videos, 50 things about you and your apartment and everything. It's all over YouTube. You have a YouTube show, correct?
Yes, the Geek Soapbox.
There you go. That had to be up your alley, Wrestling Geek Fest.
It was a lot of fun because it was kind of a cool mixture of wrestling, but it also had like the games. Like Phil Singer had their games, so they had like people playing games, and they had lots of toys. And then we had improv and live bands and panels. It was like a real con, but with wrestling and stuff.
Right?
Huh?
And the cosplay.
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
What were you?
I was Mick Foley, a.k.a. Mankind.
There you go.
It was so cool because I actually I wanted a Mankind mask, and he actually offered me his, but
really
we've met.
Authentic.
That poor man, not poor man, but that man is way bigger than me. Like I come to like his sternum, so I'm like, Mick, your head is like twice the size of my head. There's no way I'm gonna be able to wear this
Especially
mask.
when he had like that full head of hair when he was wearing it too.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to wear it. I appreciate it. I love the fact that you're offering me this mask, but it's not gonna fit me, and it's just gonna fall off. And so he tried to find the guy who made it, but we couldn't find the guy. So I'm like, crap. So I'm like, I can do this. This is what I do, Mick. Give me a few days. And I ended up making one, and he was so impressed. He was like, oh my God, that's so cool.
Now,
I'm like, it's foam, so don't like think it's real leather. So I don't do leather work. I do like foam work. Yeah. It's cosplay. Emphasis on play.
but we have to ask too, because we met you at Wrestling Geek Fest, and the following week or the week after that, you are on NXT live from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Got one of the biggest ovations of the night.
Huge.
That was awesome.
Surprise. Nobody knew you were coming. How'd that feel to hear your music play, go out there, and you have like 20,000+ people on their feet for you.
The whole experience was amazing. I'll go into it later, but like that moment right there was a literal dream come true. I was waiting at the curtain, and Stephanie McMahon comes up to me and she goes, "I just want to thank you, Blue Pants, for doing this for us." And I'm like, what? You want to thank me? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to be here and be a part of this moment. And she's like, "Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate it." And then my music hits, so I had to run out the curtain.
Right.
And so I ran out the curtain. The crowd was deafening.
They
so
already
loud.
wanted you. I mean, they were chanting for
They were
you
chanting
before
for me
you
before,
even.
yeah.
Before
That was
they
I heard
really
it
knew.
a little bit, but that's when I was talking to Stephanie, so I didn't
Yeah.
really get to fully hear the "We Want Blue Pants" clap clap clap. So I didn't really notice it until I went out, and then just 15,000
Yeah.
people screaming in my face, and it was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it was funny because they're like, "Leva, you get really excited, so you go really fast. Slow down. Take a moment to soak it in." And I did. I just looked around and just soaked it in. It was just, you had to. So I really understood what they meant by that. Like, take that moment to soak it in. So it was I can't describe it because I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to do that again or not. But
Yeah.
it's one of those I'll never forget. So whether I get to do it again, if I don't ever get to do it again, it's something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. So.
And you're not on NXT every week. So for someone that isn't on regular programming every Wednesday on the WWE Network, to get that ovation, it's unique.
It's definitely unique. I don't know if I've ever heard anything like it before,
Yeah.
you know? And it's kind of cool to be that, you know? Like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
I'm one of the pioneers of this. I don't know if it's going to be a thing or not, but it's a pioneer moment. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. I've never been one of those normal people that goes and takes a normal path and does it the normal way ever. Like, that is just how my life has worked, whether I meant to or not. Like the whole thing with Blue Pants was just kind of awesome timing, luck, happenstance, doing the right thing at the right time. Don't you dare steal my Coke Zero. I am going to chase after this girl with a tail. AKA
It does say
Secret
share with a teammate.
Solo Dolly.
It does say share with a teammate. So I mean,
Oh my god.
you kind of have to.
Have we have tagged before, haven't we, a few times? We have. Oh yeah, we were like mad scientists together.
Yeah, Dr. Horrible over here. Get called out on stealing soda.
when you have a tail, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So stealthy. No one sees me coming by. Ever.
So, I think organic is probably the best word to describe it.
Absolutely.
Everything that happened, which is cool. You know, you think back to the things that happen in WWE, and very rarely does something happen organically, but those are always probably the coolest moments. You know, you think of Daniel Bryan, and for you, it's NXT Takeover in Brooklyn, and I mean, people, with what a great tag match it was, and everybody loves the Vaudevillains. Which, how appropriate is that teaming for you?
Oh, I think it's great. I wanted to be a flapper, but we're afraid that we'd lose the whole like Blue Pants thing. So they just kind of gave me like Hollywood 20s hair ish. So
Yeah.
because you know me, I'm like I want to be a vaudevillain too.
Right.
Like Leva, you wear blue pants. Okay.
You-
I'll do that too.
But you essentially, from a crowd standpoint, dominated that match as good as the match was,
that's
and as
awesome.
much
Yay.
as people love the
Yeah.
Vaudevillains, there you were.
It was, you know what was cool? I don't know if I should be saying this or not. I wasn't supposed to get in the ring with them at the end. That
Really?
was you know, when they put me on their shoulders. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
all added last second to like, because initially I was told just stay, down.
Right.
It's their moment.
Right.
All right, cool. You got it, boss. Because I totally get it. It's their moment. They're tag team champions. I'm not a permanent fixture. I'm a fixture, but I'm not
Right.
a permanent fixture with them. So, I'm there as needed. I'm like the wacky next door neighbor. So I come and show up, and then I leave for a few episodes. I come and show up, help out, do something wacky, leave again. So I totally understood that. Wasn't upset at all. I totally got that. And then on the earpiece, they told like the cameraman and the ref, bring her in, bring her upstairs.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, oh my god! I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, all right, let's just do it. So I put her on her shoulder. Okay.
it's very
and then
manly
like
of them.
there's a gift that's really funny. They were doing their pose, and I was about to walk up to say something to them, and like I realized they were doing their pose, so I stopped and I posed. So that's the when I posed with them is that because I was like, oh, they're posing, joining in.
That's
I got it. Okay, because I think I was gonna say like something stupid to Simon.
Yeah. Now, I mean, while it's not wrestling, would you welcome kind of being a fixture as part of the Vaudevillains? You know, coming outside of the
Absolutely,
ring
I
all the
would. I
time?
would welcome pretty much anything.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
My thing is, I've always wanted to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I do full time. Whether
it's
I'm
what you're already
wrestling or
doing.
dancing or stunt work or doing, TV, radio, film. I try to do it all. So for me, I mean, if I wasn't wrestling, I get that. But even if it was just managing or being an on-screen personality or interviewer in anything, I mean, I have my own geek show.
Yeah.
I don't wrestle in a geek show, so I would love that. That's kind of just, as long as I'm doing something to entertain probably myself and hopefully other people.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, absolutely. Like I would love to be like that. So
Now we all know NXT with Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha Banks. I mean, really has changed the landscape of women's wrestling, and for yourself to be a part of that. But you're 32 years old. You're quote unquote, I would say, a veteran, correct?
I guess so.
Are you looked at as a veteran when you go up there? Are you constantly asked questions about certain things because you're so
Oh, you never stop
experienced?
learning. I don't care if you're like 50 or 60 years
Right.
old. I don't think you ever stop learning. And if there's people who've done way more in the business than I have, absolutely, I'm going to pick their brain and talk to
Yeah.
them, Because the thing is, you don't want to act like a know-it-all because then no one's going to like you, Not even just that. It's if you stop learning, you become stagnant. And then where do you go from there? You just become same thing you do over and over and over. Whereas you can always learn, grow, become and it's not just growing to be better, but it can people aren't the same. Like you look at one person today, 2 years from now they're going to be a completely different person. That's how a character should be as well. That's how a performer should be. Your performance should not be the exact same thing every single time because that's not how human nature works.
Yeah.
So you should always ask to learn and grow and change and evolve. So, I mean, that's
I'm saying,
kinda-
are you looked at as someone that people go to because you're experienced and you're
a lot of the girls, they're like, well, what do you want to do? Which
Yeah.
is shocking to me because I'm not signed, So I'm like, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm allowed to say what I want to do. Now, if I'm allowed to do it, that's another thing. Like, no, they're not going to do that. Oh, okay, cool. What about this? But I'm the type of person when I have ideas for matches or stories or anything, I'll say, hey, I have this idea. If you don't like it, that's fine. I have about 12 more behind it ready
Right.
to pump out to you. Because I always have backup plans for backup plans for
Right.
backup plans. That's just kind of how my brain works. I never get heartbroken. Like, hey, I want to do this match. And they're like, no. Okay. Well, what about this? Okay. It's one of those.
right.
Yeah.
You can't take things personally if people say no.
Right.
Like a little bit, I guess. Again, I try not to overstep any boundaries. Like, I always just make sure it's okay with the agents and what is the story they're trying to tell and what are we trying to do? What is the moment? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of this
Somebody-
match? What are we
somebody spends a
trying
lot
to
of
make this
time in
person a
Florida.
heel? Or
Yeah.
are we trying to make, show him as a monster? Are we trying to make him, what is the purpose of this? So
Speaking of training and learning and veterans, you trained at a pretty cool place.
yeah, Team 38 Academy.
Yeah. Tell us, what was that like?
Awesome. It's really cool because Bubba and Devon both bring completely different things to the table, but yet
Yeah.
similarities as well because they've tagged together for so long. They have so much history and so much going into being a tag. So you're going to get the best there is to know about tag teaming. But
Right.
then you also have Devon, who's really exceptionally well at mat wrestling and training how to do the moves properly. He does a lot of beginner class stuff. He'll teach you. I mean, so does Bubba, but mostly it's Devon. He'll teach you how to do the moves, mat wrestle, that type of stuff. And then when you get to Bubba, you're doing characters and promos and the psychology of a match and storytelling aspect. They both are, strong at both, but that's kind of how they've divvied it up. And then school also has a personal trainer who used to train the original American Gladiators, who was a world-class and champion arm wrestling guy.
Yeah.
So Dan Carr. So the guy knows what he's talking about as well. So you kind of get like best of everything there.
Do you guys ever do little American Gladiator fun stuff down there then? Little
Yeah,
jousting?
oh my God, I've asked them to do like the foamy joust and like, oh, give me some more squats, Leva. I'm like, oh.
Little gladiator ready. That's the best.
Oh my God, I would love it. I want to be on the original American Gladiators. The new one, it's not bad, but there's no one's gonna be beating. Oh my God, she just took my phone. Miriam, come back here. Hi.
We're selfie.
We're doing a selfie while we're
we do the
taking.
podcast.
There we go.
Very good.
Podcast selfie.
And there's her boobs.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
And
You don't want to know
there's
how many
more.
boobs and
Oh,
crotch shots I
boy.
have
There
when she
you
steals
are.
my every time.
And
Every
all
time.
right.
Man.
If I could actually sell these, I'd probably make a lot of money.
You should.
Part 1 over. Look for part 2 next week. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. And look for our part 1 interview with Gregory Iron. A lot of parts coming up for This is Awesome Wrestling Show. A lot of two-part interviews we've had scheduled here. And we love to get our guests for, a good half an hour, 40 minutes. And we'll be splitting these up so you can listen to part 1 and then next week part 2. So, but this is show 1 of 2 shows this week. We figured we'd give you a little special treat, a little early trick-or-treat
Yeah.
for Halloween here.
No
With,
tricks, just treats.
Yes, all treats with Leva Bates, a.k.a. Blue Pants. So, Steve, great interview with her. Part 2 is next week, but
More to come. Part 2, we get a little bit more casual.
yeah, a little more casual. Let our hair down a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit hardcore with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, she changed out of the blue pants for the second part of the interview and then was in rainbow pants with a unicorn.
Yes. So, like I said, great interview with her. Part
So-
2 next week.
Some geek is just picturing that right now, and it's creeping me out.
You?
Not me.
No, not you. All right. Like I said, Gregory Iron Part 1 later this week. We'll give our raw reaction and talk about all the latest news and rumors in wrestling. But like I said, we figured to give you a little treat here on a Monday, giving you Leva Bates Part 1 interview with her. So thanks to AIW for letting us come in their locker room and do some interviews. Look for interviews with Gregory Iron next few weeks. Also, Johnny Gargano. And who knows who else we will get here in October. So thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys later in the week.